Hello and welcome back to BIZ Inbox. I'm Em Vernon.
And I'm Sarah Davidson.
And today we are diving into some workplace situations that are going to feel painfully familiar. We've got someone stuck with a boss who's lovely but completely useless at giving feedback.
Oh my God, sounds like me. Plus, we are talking about how to fall back in love with your job when you're dreading every Monday morning and wondering how everyone else makes their 9 to 5 look so Instagram worthy.
And later, we're tackling the ultimate workplace dilemma. What do you do when you get added to the office gossip Slack channel? Do you stay in and risk getting caught up in the drama or leave it all and look like a total narc? Aw.
But first, let's start with Gemma's question that she sent in about getting feedback from a manager who just won't give it.
Okay. So Gemma did send this in. She DM'd us on our Instagram at Biz by Mamamia. And she said, "My boss is nice, but vague. I rarely get constructive feedback, and it's starting to feel like I'm flying blind. I want to grow in my role, but I don't know what I'm doing or how to improve. Are there any methods of getting useful feedback when your manager won't give it?" Oof.
That
This,
sounds like me. I'm
yeah.
definitely the manager who finds giving any kind of criticism or even just gentle feedback. I just
Mm.
want to tell everyone they're amazing and they're doing the best job all the time. Even though I want them to grow and I want them to learn, I find it really difficult. So I avoid it like the plague. You need to keep me accountable.
Oh my God, Sarah, you would hate managing me because I think I'm very similar to Gemma where I'm always looking for constructive feedback, and my
Mhm.
managers had to learn that really quickly. We always say at Mamamia, "Feedback's a gift, everyone loves it." And
Which
there's
is
been so many
true.
true, but there's been so many times where even, like, in the kitchen, like, say if Mia Friedman was like, "Hey, I really, really liked, that episode you did on blah, blah, blah," I'd be like, "Okay, but what do you think I could have done better?" And she's like, "Oh."
Really? I'd be
Yeah,
like,
and she
Okay,
loves it because she loves
frame
giving
that sound. I'm gonna print out the, like, audiogram and frame it on my wall, and don't ever say anything to me ever again."
and she's like, it will like sometimes it will like take people by surprise because I'm like, man, I'm just trying to pay you a compliment. Like, just take it. I'm like, no, but what did you hate about it? I need to know. It does come with a lot of
Yeah.
confidence wanting to know how you can be better, but I feel like um constantly asking for feedback has made me a better worker, which is why I feel Gemma's struggle in being so frustrated when she's not actually getting that. I have had managers in the past who wouldn't like be vague with feedback but because they were just so busy, and we have talked about how you think about your manager way more than they think about you. They just, yeah, they literally just have more important things on their plate than constantly giving feedback over every little thing you've done. So I would just say that your manager isn't the only person that needs to give you feedback. You can get feedback from your peers. You can get feedback from people you might manage. You can get feedback from other leaders in your company. And I think it's really important to get feedback from not just your manager, who's the person who's kind of in control of your role, but also other people you connect with, other people you work with, because you don't actually have to get feedback just for specific tasks. You can get feedback on how you work with other people, on how you like brainstorm, on how you approach issues within the company. There are just so many ways you can evolve yourself. And then maybe with your manager, maybe just say, hey, can we just have a monthly meeting or something where you just can give me like feedback on certain tasks that I put forward, things like that. But I think if, like what you said, Sarah, if you're like a manager and you're constantly being asked for like feedback on every little thing you do, I think that can get a bit annoying after a while.
I also think even if it's not annoying, it's just, like you said, not the first thing that you're always thinking about. So if someone sort of came to me and put it in my calendar and suggested, like, can we just meet monthly? And I'll bring to you even a couple of
Yeah.
questions I have for you to think about, then at least it's in your calendar. The manager doesn't have to think about it again. Every month it just clocks around and you've prepared the points that you want to ask them about. I feel like my big problem is that because I don't love telling people what they're not doing well, or giving something
Mm,
that even might have a tiny undertone of negativity, I won't ever put it in the calendar. And particularly in a small business where you don't have those big performance review structures annually, if
yeah.
you want it in my calendar, ask me and put it in, and then I'll do it. Like, I'll think about it if I have the mental trigger. So
Yeah.
you could just ask, and I won't think of it myself, but if you ask, I won't say no. So I think just bringing it up as something you would like to have more regularly. And then it also means that if I've got it in my calendar for once a month, you're not going to ask me every day in the week. So it will be less annoying because you've saved them all up, and I'm mentally prepared as well for that time to be the
Mm.
time where we save it all up and we chat about it then. I feel like that's a really good way to kind of make sure both people are getting what they need.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. And exactly what you said in that meeting, you be the one to tell them, like, this is what exactly I want feedback on, like the specific task. But also, depending on like your position in the company, your manager might not be across every little thing you do. So, more just like kind of walking them through what you did and like the outcome and like how you handled the situation, I think is just makes it so much more helpful and will give that meeting some meaning every month.
Mm. Yeah, if you sit down and say, "So how am I going?" I'd be like,
Yeah. So, what do you think
"Really
of me?
good." Just like, "Great, really great vibes." Whereas if you sat down and said, "So remember the project we worked on a couple of weeks ago? I felt like I could have done this. What do you think?"
Mm.
Kind of being specific. If you have in your mind what you think that you want to learn from, I feel like being specific is a really good way to get the most out of somebody whose brain is often going to be elsewhere. Like, you remind them, and then you'll get the response that you want.
Oh, good luck. I can't wait for you to get all your feedback and then tell us what feedback you got.
Also, go you,
Okay.
Gemma. That's so proactive and really
So
brave to just
good. Oh my
be
god.
asking for it. I love that.
Imagine your dilemma being like, "No one's telling me what a great job I'm doing."
I just want more gold stars. Why is no one awarding them to me anymore? Why did that stop in prep? I'm really upset.
Okay, our next question is from Lauren, and she says, "How do you guys romanticize your work life? I'm dreading work every day and becoming so negative. I see people on TikTok making their 9 to 5 look aesthetic, but I can barely drag myself out of bed. I used to enjoy my job, but now feel everything's like a chore. What are your tricks for making work feel less soul crushing before I completely burn out?" Oh.
Oh, it's such a hard position to be in. And I think it's one that we've all been through this chapter.
Mhm.
And it is a really, really difficult fine line. We've kind of covered it in a slightly different context, but it's a really difficult fine line between this is a permanent problem that is costing me my wellness, my health. I'm unfulfilled, I'm underutilized. Like, there are signs that maybe a job isn't for you in the long term. And then there's just the natural ups and downs that most of us have
Mhm.
with the fact that we have to work every day. Like, it's pretty
Yeah.
normal to just have big chapters where you're like, I don't want to do this. I just want to sit in bed and do other things. So finding out which one that is and not overreacting one way or the other can be really hard. But I
Mm,
think firstly, accepting that it's normal. Most people have phases where they wake up and they don't want to go to work, even if they love their job.
yeah.
Secondly, that you can control a lot of what you bring to just a normal slump. Maybe you can't control like your tiredness or the people in your job or whatever, but you can control like setting a gratitude intention every day and be grateful you have a
Mm,
job.
yeah.
Like, flipping the way that you start the day can be really helpful. Um, and then if you do think that maybe there are things that you need to change or improve, to just make a little list, write them down and start working on them. And then you don't feel disempowered that you're not taking action towards the reasons why you don't want to wake up every morning. I think there are so many
Mm,
things you can do other than just, I hate this, and then
yeah.
just keep hating it every day.
That is so true. I also want to say that you shouldn't need to feel like you need to romanticize your work life. Like the TikToks you're watching and I watch them too, and I feel like I absolutely adore my job, and it is like a job that I feel like would be so easy to romanticize. But I guarantee you, if you just film yourself like getting out of bed, like crawling out of bed at 8:30 with no makeup, making it into work at night, and you just put a banging soundtrack on that, that's going to look romantic as fuck. Like you can make literally anything on social media look 10 times better than what it actually is. So don't read too much into those TikToks because it's like most of the time it's not true. It's most of the time like imagine like seeing all those TikToks without the soundtrack, without the good lighting, without like the little jump cuts between like 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Like it was
Mhm.
literally just someone doing their work life and then also managing to film it while they're doing it. I'll also say that it's that time of year where everyone does burn out. Like this sounds like burnout to me, and it sounds like that you just need a little break. If you can afford to, maybe take a little holiday, a little weekend away. I think that August, September, October slump where we're so close to the end of the year but not close enough is where everyone just
Mhm.
feels so overly lethargic. We're feeling so tired. We're feeling so defeated. Like Mercury has only just left retrograde. So we've been feeling this for a long time right now. And
Babe,
it's
she's
like,
been rough.
it's been rough this year, and just give yourself some grace. Like, and I think what's really
Mhm.
good about this dilemma is that, Lauren, you have actually recognized that self. You recognize that you're not loving work every day. And I think that's one step one step further than what most people do, where they just instead they just crash out and burn. And I think you're in such a good position to take those tips that Sarah gave you, like kind of work on your life outside of work. Like I think when I burn out, my triggers are I know I'm burnt out because I go get home from work at like 6 p.m. and then I literally just crash out and I'm just asleep. I don't eat. Don't even like wash my makeup off. And then I'm like, oh, I actually need to have a life outside.
Gal,
It's
intervention
bad.
time.
It is bad. And I think this is like you realizing that you're not romanticizing your work. I think that's an indication that you just kind of need a little breather and be gentle on yourself and just kind of do like look after yourself. Look after yourself in your like time before work and your time after work. And I guarantee that that will make your work day much better.
Yeah, definitely. I also found that it really helped me to think about it the same way I would a long-term relationship, because you are
Mm,
usually in a pretty long-term relationship,
yeah.
really.
It might be your longest relationship to date.
100%. And you definitely spend more time with it than you do with a lot of your friends or your lovers in some cases. But like the same as you would in an actual person to person relationship, you have slumps, but it
Mm,
takes a little bit of work. Like things don't often improve for you in a time where you're feeling a bit, you know, jaded towards a person unless you guys do something to spice it up. Like you go on a date, or you like buy each other flowers, or you, like you said, you take a break. You can kind of do those things within your job, like take a day off, get some distance, or change the way you dress for a couple of weeks, or make a new ritual when you first get into work, change your desk up. Like there's something to be said for changing the environment. There are lots of things you can mix up to add some freshness, like you would in a person to person relationship, that can help with your work relationship.
yeah. Oh, it's just once the burnout's gone, you're gonna be soaring. I just know
Yeah,
it.
also just rest
Just rest.
rest.
Have a good sleep. Okay, our last question on this episode was from an anonymous person, and they DM'd us on Instagram saying, I got added to a Slack channel where my colleagues constantly bitch about management and other coworkers. I don't want to participate, but I also don't want to leave and look like a snitch or seem lame. Someone's
Mm.
definitely going to get caught eventually. How do I extract myself without burning bridges or looking like I'm above it all? Firstly, brave of your colleagues to do this on a Slack channel.
Oh my gosh, and it's so awkward. It sounds like the culture might be a difficult one,
A
that
bit
you're so
toxic.
scared even to leave, like that you'll be called a snitch, or that you'll look like, because my initial instinct is, if you don't want to see it and you don't want to be associated with it, just leave. But if you're so scared that
Yeah,
they'll
you
think of
yeah,
you
you don't
differently
wanna be
just for
ostracized.
leaving.
My toxic advice is stay in the channel, mute it, don't contribute. So when they do
Ooh.
get caught, because it is a work Slack channel, they will get caught. It will
Mm.
like, you haven't put any words in there, so it'll be fine for you, and then you can just make an excuse and be like, "Oh, I didn't even know I was in that channel." And then 'cause it's been
Play
muted, so when they look at
ignorant.
your account, it'll look like it's muted, so you won't get any of the notifications, but that's just my people pleaser wanting to stay friends with everyone.
I
I also
love how
know that
toxic
some
that is.
workplaces it's so toxic. Some workplaces don't actually have that notification, some do, so you might have to double check this, but there are some places where you can leave Slack channels without everyone getting a notification that you've left. So, maybe, like, see if there's a way you can, like, check it with a different channel or something. Because if they don't have that notification sending to everyone, you could probably leave and no one will realize.
Yeah, my like slightly less toxic advice, even though I'm even more of a people pleaser than you am. Normally, I would be like, do not, do not like muddy the waters, just stay in
Yeah.
it, mute. But
In
I
fact,
think
start your
that,
own rumors. Be the main character
yeah,
of the channel.
yeah, rewrite the narrative. I also feel that if it's like particularly nasty bitching about management and coworkers, and someone does find it, there are certain people in management that if your name is in the group, regardless of whether you contributed, they'll assume you did see it and that
Mm.
you were complicit just because you sat there and you didn't say anything.
And
and you
this is
don't
why
want to
you're
be.
the lawyer.
It's literally, my legal brain is like, you're literally going to
And
be
I'm like, "You'll
considered
be
to be
fine. No one will
affiliated.
care. Don't worry
Yeah, I'm
about
like,
it."
you aided and abetted the crime. Okay, you were there, you were part of it. You're going to be brushed with the same, tainted
Oh,
with the same brush, or
no.
whatever the phrase is. So I think if it's bad, particularly if it is something that you're like, I really don't want to be associated with this kind of conversation, I do think you need to leave before you
Mm.
see anything that could be attached to your name. And then if you want to play ignorant, like just play ignorant in the opposite direction and say, oh, guys, I didn't even know I left. How did I do that? Like, play dumb. Be like, I thought I was still in it and I wasn't getting notifications, but that's because I turn off all my notifications. I must have deleted myself somehow. Like, play
Uh-huh.
dumb that way so that you don't look like a narc, but you also like don't have to be part of it.
Oh my God, that's smart. What if they're like, "Don't worry, girl, we'll add you back."
I think then I would have to make up something. I could never just say, because I don't want to be part of this. I think
Yeah.
I would have to say, look, I just get so many notifications on my phone. If I have those, I'm going to miss all the important work ones. You guys just count me out because I'm just silly with my phone. Like, blame yourself for being bad at notification management. And then it's not
Smart.
about them. It's like not a judgment. It's like, you do you, except I'm not even going to comment on the gossip. It's just because it's me, not you, basically.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's great
It's
advice. Like,
hard though.
clearly scrap the advice I gave and just listen to Sarah
No,
because
but I kind of want one of us to do your advice so we still have someone on the inside. I wanna
I
know
just
what the
want to
gossip
know
is.
what the send us some screenshots. Send us.
And also, if you're in it, it's not about you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's actually great. Like that would make me feel good if I'm in the chat knowing that I'm not the one they're bitching about.
Yeah, which means you can't leave the chat
Which means
because
you
then
can't.
it's like free for all. M. Burnham has left the chat, and then it's like, oh wow, let's go.
She's left the chat and just taken 8 screenshots.
Yeah. This is my insurance. That's a really tough situation though, because I feel like you don't win either way.
Yeah, I guess you just have to make I feel like your gut instinct just because you wrote in this dilemma, you want to
Yeah.
leave, and I think you
Mm.
should just go with your gut. Like, it's a workplace, they will get caught because it is a work Slack channel and work does have access to their own channels,
Mhm.
and I think you're just protecting yourself before it becomes way, way worse. So, I think you're gonna leave, and I think you should.
Yeah. You get out of there, girl.
Get out of there, girl, we've got you.
Come work with us.
No Slack channels.